So I'd like for you all to take a moment with me and think about your life. Think about your past, your present, your future. Think about what you have to look forward to. Think about where you want to be in 10 years. Think about your family, your friends that you have right now. Think about what you have to do this afternoon. Think about all the things in your past that you've accomplished, all the things that you wish you could change or do over for the better, for the worse. Now, I'd like for you all to close your eyes with me. All of those things are not irrelevant because you have just died. Death is inevitable for all of us. Now, what do you see? Do you see an image of heaven? Do you see yourself reincarnated as something else? Do you see memories of your family and friends flashing before you? Or do you just see the darkness in front of you? Now open your eyes. Now, for all of us in here, we can assume that as Christians, we saw heaven, right? Right? That's not always the case. See, for a lot of Christians, including myself, death is a bit of a scarier thing, because heaven isn't as certain for us. You see, heaven itself is one of the most faith-based things as part of Christianity. Because when you feel God flowing within you, you can feel it. When you ask for a prayer, you have it received. But you don't feel heaven, you don't get to see heaven. The only way to see heaven is to actually go there. So for me, this fear was alleviated once I met a friend of mine who worked with me. She told me over a lunch break that when she was about a year from me meeting her, that she had a story about when she was stung by a bee. Now, being deathly allergic to bees, she suffocated. By the time paramedics arrived, she didn't have a pulse. They rushed her to the ER and doctors were able to revive her, but she was dead for nearly 20 minutes. Now, if that wasn't a miracle enough that she was able to be revived, she was revived without any trauma to her body whatsoever. And for a little bit of context of how crazy that is, according to Quora.com, the human body, or the human brain, begins to decay after just 3 minutes of loss of blood flow. That means that her body and brain should have been decaying 6 times over. Yet when she awoke, nothing happened at all. She was completely normal. There's only one thing that could have caused that, and it wasn't the doctors. God had sent her back, and that's exactly what she believes as well. You see, she told me about how when she died, she was able to see heaven. She got to see all of its glory. She got to see all the wonderful things, all the people. The only thing she didn't get to see was God himself. But she believes he meant for that to happen. See, it wasn't time for her to see him yet because he intended for her to come back, for her to tell people about what she saw. So that way maybe somebody who needed to know that it existed would know. So for me, I wanted to capture the story that she told me because people like her family and friends didn't believe her, but I know that when the brain doesn't have blood flowing, there's no way you can dream things. So that the fact that she recalled something after she died means that she definitely got to see heaven. So I wanted to take my experience in directing, cinematography, screenwriting, and over 10 years of editing experience to bring her story to screen. Now, I would like to present to you all today my film entitled Revival, but I would also afterwards like to discuss with you how this film was put together through the process of the pre-production, how the film was actually created, some of the lighting that we used, the post-production end that brought the film all together, and then some of the things that I learned throughout this project. Now, without further ado, I'd like to present to you the film Revival.